Where the fuck is my...
Oh my God! Unbelievable! What a fight!
Let me go home. Home is where you... I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Holla, fuck the world with a chest full of smoke. I, on my breakfast, the end of my necklace, say Dope House Records, Screwstone, Texas. The diamonds in my emblem is cut like a princess. You can keep the Benzes because I got two. Wait, what the fuck? Home is wherever I'm with you. What is going on? Mario Mungia here. Infighting FX, Infighting Exchange. We're back. Told you we would be. Adam's coming on. Sent the link out. We'll see who jumps on. I'm gonna do some promotion real quick. Do 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 do. Let me go home. Home is wherever I'm with you. All right, guys, we've got a great show, wrestling only, but that doesn't mean that you can't call in and jump on at a portion of the show and talk boxing, MMA, any of the matches or fights going on this week. And we are officially on AEW Dynamite. We'll be watching that as well. Hold on. Chizzy's back. I want to know what the Chizzy himself, the champ, the machine gun thinks of these two cards coming up tonight, or not this weekend. I mean, Night of Champions, 6-match card. In fact, let me pull it up real quick. Night of Champions card. All right. We'll go there. Ta-dum. That's Netflix. All right. So here we are. Night of Champions. Should we do not? Yeah, you know what? This is what we'll do. We'll do Night of Champions while we watch Dynamite, and then we'll do like in between like Dynamite, Forbidden Door, and WWE. Little boy, will you come here? Come here. Come here, Bubba. Dude, little kitten won't fucking leave. He just wants to come in here all the time. Will you fucking stop, you? Okay, I'm closing the door. Bye. Fucking cat, dude. Won't stop. Rockefeller Records. It would be like crazy as shit for me to drink a third protein shake. I don't know who needs that much protein. Oh shit, a Brodito match. All right. Let me finish this. All right. Let's see. Matt said, if Oba loses, like I said, I would like to be properly acknowledged. You will be properly acknowledged, champ. But right now, Adam, they call him the Ant.
Mario.
The line. What's going on, bitch boy?
I just finished eating some Chipotle.
Damn, you're fucking rich, dude. Y'all heard that? Damn, Adam's a fucking top 10%, dude. That's cool.
Well, technically,
Um,
I use my rewards, but that also means that I bought it
that you've been
17
using
times
it this
before.
whole exactly. So yeah, listen, you keep making well over six figures because that's apparently what the average uh Chipotle user or eater enjoys. But you watching? You got it on Dynamite?
I was thinking about it. I don't know. Well, if you're gonna watch it, I'll watch it with you. I was just thinking like I wouldn't be able to have the volume on because it's gonna be
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking the same thing. I'm gonna have it on in the background, but if but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, we don't have to super keep up with it. Although I will say this opening match between Brandito and who is that? Who is the other guy? Oh, what's his name? Fuck, what's his name?
Mystico.
Yeah, Mystico. Well, yeah, not Mystico. Yeah. So, versus
It is
the Death
Mystico.
Riders. No, no, it is Mystico, but it's what's his name from WWE. Uh, anyway, this is a fucking great match. This is a great match. We were talking right before you jumped on card versus card, real quick before we like jump into Night of Champions. Um, let me ask you this question. What is your excitement level for both? So let's go 1 through 5. 5 would be like this latest Game of Thrones, right? And 1 would be like Supergirl, or what's another thing that sucks? Green Lanterns. Like it's like a boner killer, right? So where are you at with, let's just say let's say Night of Champions first.
Um, I don't know if I could put it like one. I guess 1 to 10. Um, Night of
I mean,
Champions is
sure.
probably like a 6, only because I feel like it's gonna be it's. There's only a few ways they can go to like shock. I mean, you can try to. I mean, making Oba lose is not going to be a shocking thing. I think Oba loses. I think that they're going to
So do I.
set up set him up some way to maybe have Brock. Obviously, Brock to interfere, cost them the match, and then who knows what happens with Jey. So after that, it may be a snowball effect of Sami Zayn winning or something, and that starts that, and he challenges him, and it could be any number of things. But I don't think Oba wins. And then I was thinking if they continue that, this is me like hoping like, hope booking and not what I expect them to do. But you could have like real implications of Oba of, Brock having some kind of retirement match at SummerSlam and then Oba cost them that one. And it's like even on a bet on a bigger scale, but that kind of seems kind of petty. I feel like a retirement match, you don't want to have somebody retire off of a disqualification or some kind of interference. It's kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
but see,
Which
this is my problem though. Let me tell you right now. This is my fucking problem. My fucking problem is that everybody's acting like as if it's crazy to be like, "Oh, the fucking Obafemi's not gonna lose. They've been booking him to win. Everything is revolving around him. This is his story." Okay, and do you want me to have to give you the list of people because it stretches as long as my arm? How many times we've been in this position where not even the young upstart, guys like Jey Uso, guys like Cody Rhodes, guys like Sami Zayn, guys like, and yes, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso eventually got their turn, but that's the point I'm making is that Obafemi represents the same classification. Just because he's super over does not give any sort of sense that they're going to deter from exactly what they do every time, and that is shit the bed. Listen, I'm going to tell you, this is like my whole thing. I really, really think that TKO has a mandate from the very top all the way down, whether it's the UFC, PBR, and especially WWE. We're not in the business of creating young champions. We don't want 20 something champions because you know what happens with 20 something year old champions? They wrestle for 20, 30 years. And then you know what happens after that? They make a shit ton of money in their 30s, and then you can't afford them. And then you give them all this power, and then they can take it to the rival company. Exactly what like Hulk Hogan did, exactly what like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall did. Let me ask you this, Adam. What would the NWO and WCW have taken over if Doink the Clown and the Brooklyn Brawler were the two guys that showed up at Bash at the Beach? Probably fucking not, right?
no, you're right.
And so at the end of the day, let me ask you, what seems more so okay, let's say Oba wins. Then he goes and he fights Roman Reigns and also Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. How does that work? What would you think that what do you think they would do with that?
That's why I don't know. That's why Brock Lesnar is really that. That's where it's
Bro,
confusing because you would think that the end game for Brock would be SummerSlam because it's in Minnesota, but I don't know. Like I don't know where I'm more confused on if they do have Oba lose, what are they gonna do with Jay? Like have him challenge Gunther again or him against Cody? Or do they like flip it and make him I mean the best thing would have if you're gonna have Jay win, I mean I guess I say best thing you could do would but it's just continuing what they've done before is have him challenge Roman instead.
That
And
would
it
be no,
and it
that's the
would
best, I
and
think.
it would make a great promo. Like let's say Sami Zayn wins and uh they everyone's face to face on Raw, and Jay has just won the King of the Ring. He's gonna obviously challenge him, and Roman still got the belt. And then all of a sudden, like cuts a great promo, and then turns it around on Roman. Like that would make a great promo, but I don't think that they'll
Yeah,
go
but
that way. But I mean, maybe they do, and just it's just not that way. But I just feel like they've gone in circles with
here's
the
here
bloodline stuff. It's just I don't know where
exactly.
they go.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That's and no, Matt, I hadn't seen it. I've seen a couple of comments with the Cody on Ariel today, but I haven't seen anything yet. That said, though, Oba and Jay is like the best acknowledgement of what's going on today, right? Like you have this young over guy, and then you have this guy that's just over, right? Like, I mean, like no one likes it. He has the 5 most unliked videos on social media in WWE this decade or this century. I can't remember which,
And
or
yet he's
millennium,
in the
whatever.
finals for
And
the
yet
King
he's
of the
in the
Ring.
finals, right? And so this idea that they said, oh, we were going to do Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns because that's what we wanted to do from the beginning. Like people forget we would have just continued to get the Vision shit, all the exciting stuff that we got with Braun Breaker. And by the way, where's Braun Breaker now? Right? Everybody's picking Seth Rollins to win this cage match and then have him go on to face Roman at some point. And yet, where the fuck is Braun Breaker? Because remember, once upon a time, we were talking about Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. That doesn't really feel like it's a big deal anymore, does it? And so
They blew their load on him way
they
too
blew their
quick.
load
They
way too
should have
quick.
put the belt on him when Seth got hurt. They should have put the belt on him right then and there. Like have him fucking go all like a work shoot and have him take out Adam Pierce and he's keeping the belt. Something like take it off me kind of mentality. Like make me kind of thing. Like take over and it would have made fucking great TV. You would have had him on a hell of a lot of matches and promos and Paul Heyman backing him. Like it would have been crazy. But I think WWE thinks that their fans are dumb. And there's like, look, here's Oba. Look, he's Night of the Champions. He's King of the Ring Finals. All right, his time is done. Like we're gonna continue what we wanted to do in the first place.
Okay, so make your official pick. Jey Uso, Oba Femi, who's winning? Call it.
I I want Oba to win, but I really think that they're gonna have Jay win it.
And that's your do you have a booking for it or no? You don't have to.
I think Brock will get involved.
Yeah, see, and I shouldn't have even asked because exactly that's exactly what I was going to say. That's what Matt has said too. I just don't think like as people as obvious as people think that Oba winning is. I think it's more obvious, and it's been more obvious that Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi at SummerSlam night 1 is the main event. Like that's what I've been saying from day one. And why have I been saying that? Because it was clear as fucking day, right? Brock Lesnar, this random retirement, and then he comes back, but he's still retired, and then he beats Oba, the guy that they were trying to get over, and now he's like back to being retired. No, none of this makes
And
sense.
then
It
he
was always
says
in
the whole
Minneapolis
1+1. After he beat him, he's like the 1+1, which that didn't even make sense at the time.
at all. And so you have all this heading towards there, right? So now that's the obvious part, right? Nothing else is more obvious than that. But so if you want to say Oba wins, then what you're saying is you're booking Oba to go to SummerSlam in Brock Lesnar's hometown, beat him in the main event of night 1, and then come back night 2 and beat Roman Reigns for the title or lose for the title, whatever. But you have him booked for night 1 and night 2 like that. I can't imagine that there is a scenario that happens that is that I can't imagine a scenario less likely to happen than that.
I
Right?
just
Like
don't think
I
it.
can't.
I mean, you could book Brock where have Gunther win it, and then completely abandon the Brock Oba stuff, act like it didn't happen. And if Brock wants to retire at SummerSlam, be like, you know what, I want one more shot at this. If I can't beat you, I can't. I shouldn't be here. If I can't challenge for the title and win it, I don't want to be here. Where I don't belong here. And then have him lose to Gunther at SummerSlam.
Mm. Yeah, I think that could work. Actually, I do. Hold on, let me edit this real quick. All right, right there is good. Fuck it. Update
Do you
layout.
think Io Sky wins or no?
Okay, so yeah, listen, I we predicted the exact same. I think Brock Lesnar comes out, interferes. Now as far as the EO Sky, I'm so glad you asked that because this is the fight I wanted to talk about so much. Damn it, I realized I don't know how to do this. Fuck. Hold on. Let me see.
Don't
Let
know
me
how
see.
to
Let me see.
fuck.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how to fuck. Let me see. Oh, okay, here we go. How can I switch this? Let's do that. Kind of sucks, but oh well. And let's do that. And let's do that. And let's do that. All right, that works. Update layout. Okay, so Night of Champions, we have Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. First of all, I'm gonna go to you, or you asked me, so I'll go first, and then we'll go to you. Uh, First of all, I am picking Io Sky to win. Okay, I don't think there's any chance they're going to do a Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, who's by the way injured, for the double championship. I mean, presuming she's not going to be healthy by SummerSlam. That said, Io Sky is going to win, and she's going to probably challenge Liv for the title, which means that you're going to get in a situation where Io Sky is facing Liv to face Liv. And that is such horseshit. And let me tell you why. Because people are trying to build this into like a narrative like it's good, right? And these are the same people who will tell you that AEW's women's division is shit and directionless and has no story. And yet, how on earth would you justify this? Imagine that Oba Femi was going to wrestle in the finals on Saturday in Saudi against Roman Reigns. You would be like, no, that's not going to happen. But okay, it's happening. And then Oba wins, and then he's going to face Roman Reigns? How the fuck? Like, don't try to make the argument that the women's division is somehow cared about as much as WWE. You can't even make the argument that that kind of booking is in the same ballpark of effort that AEW puts into their women's division. It is clueless. It has nonsensical rationalities behind it. And I think the more likelier story is that WWE either forgot that Liv was the champion, which is very hard to believe. But if there was ever an era that could happen, I think this is the era that would happen. Either they forgot or they were so focused on the storyline of the Judgment Day, which has been the same story. Someone in there is mad. Someone in there doesn't like that someone else is getting all the fucking heat. Like, it's the same shit. And so you cannot try to spin this narrative that Io Sky versus Liv is somehow this masterpiece in storytelling when it literally makes zero sense if you transfer it to any other aspect. Like Royal Rumble, Io Sky and Liv at the very end, Io throws her out and then faces Io and Liv at WrestleMania. Like, what? What the fuck are we talking about? So Io Sky wins. This is bullshit. This was literally like nothing, right? They put more effort in making what's her name that got cut in Queen of the Ring last year than they are putting in this. And the world champion is in the match. Adam, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think Io has to win. I didn't know that Rhea was hurt. Is there a timeline that she's gonna be out or no?
No, and they did it really, really weird last week when they mentioned it. They didn't like give us anything other than like these like weird
You think it's a
images, and then
work?
they put up a graphic. No, it's definitely not a work. Or
Yeah,
that's
because
what at least Meltzer and guys are. I'm not saying that.
I
Other
was thinking if they
better
know
reporters
the
have said it's not a work.
yeah, I was thinking if they know the timeline, you could have Io win and then Rhea come out and celebrate with her. It's like, oh, she's hurt. Man, it would be great if they can see them in the ring, and then fucking Rhea just turns heel, like
Oh
fucking
shit,
laser out.
my bad. We got a fucking shit ton of comments. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be crazy, but it's gonna depend on the timeline that that they have with Rhea returning to turn her heel against Io, because that would make a great rivalry. You know, all the history that they have that they can show, all the think of the packages of them celebrating, the packages of them fighting before, and then to have her turn like that would be crazy. But you're right, there's just like zero story, and it's kind of a good transition to the Owen, because I feel like certain people you can't make happy, like especially wrestling fans. It's like this makes no sense whatsoever. This person, and then you have the complete polar opposite on AEW, where it's like this is exactly what we expected. Like this is exactly what we wanted, and it's happening. Why is it happening? Why don't they do something else? Well, what should they do? I don't know. Like it's like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
No,
What
no,
do
no.
you want? Like,
Absolutely,
geez.
absolutely. Yo, shout out to Alex. He said, "What type of AI slop is that? Oba versus Osprey fantasy wallpaper?" It
Wow.
was. It is AI. First of all, the idea is Oba is the most exciting narrative that should win for the future of the company. And then we're gonna talk about Forbidden Door later. And Will Osprey represents the same thing on his side, the guy that must win on Sunday for the betterment of the future of the company. That's what Opa represents in his promotion. That's what Will represents in his. So
It's the
don't get me wrong,
forbidden
Alex.
door of champions.
Exactly. Alex, I don't discredit you all. That was a hilarious comment. And you're right. It does look like AI slop, but this is what happens when you lose your channel a year ago. So
Kind
they
of looks like
said
Ahmed Johnson a little bit.
it does favor a little bit Ahmed, but I mean, a lot of people thought Oba had a very Ahmed like gimmick. I never saw it, but anyway, they said, or Bat said they would do Liv Rhea if Rhea is hurt so she can go away. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, listen, I think that the way this is all going to break down, I don't know how long Rhea's out, but it's clear they never had anything planned for her, right? The only piece of story that we've gotten with Rhea, like specifically Rhea centered storyline, is that moment she left Raw and gave Io a kiss goodbye, and then like looked at Liv and was like, "Later, bitch, we're gonna settle this one day," kind of moment, right? Um, since then, she has been a side piece. Ooh, that's not the way to say that. She's been background work to the Jade and her factions bullshit, right? At the end of the day, Jade's going to win. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's all about Charlotte and Jade. That seems to be what they're really pushing. So I just don't think Rhea's, I don't think they care that she was hurt, or it's not that they don't care, but I think they had plans for her anyway.
You think they don't
Uh,
want, just because they don't want Charlotte to work with Tiffany again? Like they have their own kind of thing going on?
okay, well, you know what? Maybe we just get into that one because that's a very that was a loaded question. Because if Io wins, does she wrestle Liv again, or her friend Rhea? If Liv wins, she's going to be undisputed. Yeah, see, the Liv thing doesn't work. I'll tell you what though, if Rhea can be back by SummerSlam, that Io Rhea match is the match to make for me. Here's the thing, it satisfies two things. One, Rhea and Io are very, very popular right now with the casual fan. But the other part is we've been seeing this story for how long now? Like they started enemies, then they became like best of friends. So it would make sense for them to get to a point where there's a respectful match that maybe again turns, sour again one day or whatever. But all I'm saying is that that's a match to make right there. If you're going to make any one of those matches, that's the match to make. They obviously forgot Roxanne should have won to further break the Judgment Day. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I have that Liv Raquel gives me like the limpest of limps. Let me tell y'all, I am at 6:00 just thinking of it. All right. But that Roxanne Perez match, that's a match to make. It really is. Ospreay has not been what everyone told me he was, by the way. I don't know what that means because he's the best wrestler in the world right now, I think, is
Yeah.
very well said. Like, I don't think there's a challenge on that. I mean, you could argue like Roman Reigns, the best like professional wrestler, like altogether package, but the best in-ring work right now as well. It's not even close. Mario, are we going to clap for both shows? Hell yeah, champ. Of course we are. They foreshadowed this since Raw after WrestleMania. Rhea left Raw, leaving Io to face Liv. I've seen it coming. I think you did say something about that, Alex. I think I do remember you mentioning that. Good call. If this is what happens, and you were right, and that would make sense. By the way, I'm not going to argue with you about Will Ospreay anymore, Mario. Well, because there's nothing to argue about. He's the best wrestler in the world. Don't talk about my side piece. Where's Blake Monroe? Okay, let's have that conversation real quick. Let's have a real quick side conversation. Adam, have you heard what happened with Blake Monroe?
No.
So, spoilers for anybody for SmackDown. If you don't want to hear about this, please tune out because we're going to talk about it. Spoiler for SmackDown coming in 3, 2, 1. So Blake Monroe debuted at the taping of SmackDown last night. I think it was Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. They pre-recorded SmackDown because they're in Saudi, so they did it in London. It's going to be in SmackDown's. Blake Monroe reportedly debuted to crickets. Now, from what I can understand, some of the people that were using the term crickets are like known, WWE haters. I'm gonna say it was probably just like a mid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was crickets. Especially not there. But Adam, what do you think? Is Blake Monroe's
She's from
time in
England, right?
wrestling? Yes, she's from there. And imagine and think about what happened the last time she was there. Like under a wrestling, like on TV for wrestling. The last time she was there on TV for wrestling, it was like one of the biggest moments in UK history for women's wrestling.
Yeah.
So how does it go from that to there? Did WWE drop the ball? Did she drop the ball? What do you think?
I
He
mean,
said crowd went mild.
I mean, you have to
Cover
think.
your ears, kid.
I mean, you have to think about what her she was the reason she's in WWE is because of her her
Jeez.
story with Tony Storm. And like they literally like that was one of the like in hindsight, yeah, everybody in hindsight. I mean, at the time, it's hindsight, but that match should have. It's like I mean, Wrestle Talk mentions it. That match should have main evented, not Mox and
Absolutely.
Copeland.
No,
But
you're
at the same
absolutely right.
time, like when it comes to this, like yeah, past is past. Like should have done that, whatever. But Blake Monroe, like she was made because of that match. She had that was her main
That was her
like
main, yes.
story.
And
Like
there
that
was
was
like
her
nothing
entire
else
story.
about her in wrestling that even existed.
Yeah, I mean, she obviously she had some stuff going on in AEW before that. There was a lot of stuff with like Sky Blue and a bunch of other girls, but this was like the end all be all like
No,
peak
this
of her
put her on the
time at
map.
AEW. So I mean, you could say the same thing about Jade. Like Jade was super green while she was in AEW, and she's just a specimen. She's okay on the mic. She's kind of just has the generic like, I'm sassy ass. Whatever I'm gonna do,
Yes.
I'm gonna say this. Like, it's been done
She's better
before.
on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, when she's like being for real, like she doesn't know where to fucking draw the line. Uh, and
Yeah, for real.
I think it's just that same effect. Like WWE jumps the gun on these on talent because they're like, oh man, they're over right now, we got to get them now. And then yeah, they make a spark, they do stuff, and whatever, but it's and then eventually like, what are they doing now? You know what I mean? Like the reality sets in, and maybe it's not on them. It's kind of fucked up for me to say that, but it's not. Maybe it's not on them. It's just how they're booked. And
Yeah.
Triple H's whole like, well, it's up to you to do this. Like, we're gonna book you, and you get over. Like, not we're not gonna have the commentators put you over. We're not gonna have this. Like, I don't know. It's just not handled. There's a lot of moving parts in it. I just there's a lot going on, but it's I don't know. It's hard to say, but I didn't know that she debuted like that. But I heard that the crowd there's like pictures of like it was dead, and it's like why would you book this show on a night when England's playing in the World Cup and
Yeah,
all this
there are a
shit?
lot of factors. That's why I left Alex's comment up. He said, in what context did she debut? Did she attack someone? So I've not seen the video yet. I don't know if I'll watch it even before SmackDown, but apparently the video's already up. You can see exactly what she did. I know she cut a program. In what context that program came about? I mean, she cut a promo, my bad. In what context that promo came about, I'm not sure yet. Adam, do you know?
I have no idea. The only thing I can think why the crowd probably wouldn't react or wasn't as big of a reaction is because it's probably a lot of casuals who don't even watch NXT and
Well,
have
they said the
no
crowd
idea.
was half full. They said that the arena was half full because
But
of
I'm
the
saying
match, like you
even for
mentioned.
the majority of the people there that watch NXT were less than the majority that only watch WWE or only because WWE's in town. You know what I
I'd
mean? So
probably, I'd be willing to bet
it's the same
that if
reason the
we
way
had
that Danhausen
access,
got that reaction. Only hardcores knew who Danhausen was and not in
exactly.
the North
No, that's
Korea of
yo,
WWE.
that's a fucking good point. You're right. There were a lot of factors that led to Danhausen not getting the pop on TV. But if you go back and listen to a lot of people that were in the arena, they said that there was a huge pop. The way it happened and the way that they did it on TV was segmented in a way they were booing the fact that that was it. There were so
Yeah.
many fans that said no. People weren't. They never booed Danhausen. We cheered Danhausen. We couldn't hear it because of the pyro pops were so close to the mic, but they were already cheering because they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
When it ended as abruptly as it did, they started booing, and those boos, I think, like resonated, like or like not resonated. What's it called? With like ricochet. Somebody was making this point. I can't remember who it was, but like where you get reverb, right? Like with the
Yeah.
mic. So the way that the boos were coming in, it like almost amplified it for the TV audience. So like we heard a mild reaction to boos where the crowd actually popped and booed because he was so over, right? So that like gave us a very misguided. Remember how many people were like, "It's over for Danhausen. Danhausen shits the bed. The experiment of like they were ready to write this guy off." And
Yeah.
the truth of the matter was, we didn't get a real fair look at it. So yeah, that this could be what we get with Blake Monroe. I don't know, dude. I
I
mean,
mean, because
listen, I
think
don't.
about it, when she debuted in NXT, it was like a big reaction. But I don't know if there's like a group of NXT, like if the majority of NXT people that go there are also watching like AEW, or what that is, because everybody knew who she was. Like the people that were active, it was a big reaction when she debuted in NXT. But I feel like people who are watching NXT are still kind of plugged into like the indie scene. Like I feel like like if you asked, did a survey of everybody in like a WWE event, like they wouldn't know what New Japan was, and where like, like any big and local like indie promotions, like they wouldn't know, because I think they're just so tied into the main, what's mainly going on, that's why they have to have these crazy packages when they're introducing somebody. AEW, it's almost kind of like your what is it called, like when you're like, you just show something and expects people to know it, like they're just like showing somebody and like, oh yeah, everybody's reacting, and you kind of feel like left out if you don't exactly know who it is, because like people are
Oh
so tied
yeah,
into the stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Like pop culture reference type stuff. What is
well, not even pop culture,
what is
just like
no, no,
real
no.
indie stuff.
What is what's his name say in the office when they're doing that caption game and he's like, and no pop culture references. It makes people feel like the other. He says something, he calls it
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I forget, whatever.
But it's
Gabe.
it's the
Gabe
it's the
Wad.
opposite. It's the opposite effect. Like when you hear somebody talk about, oh, this is a new great indie film coming out and it's great, it's gonna win all the awards. That's like saying like, oh, there's this great kid, coming up. His name's Will Ospreay. He was in London fighting. Like it's like, oh yeah, whatever. You don't some indie guy, and then all of a sudden they just turn into the biggest star in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, no. That's a very good point. Now, Matt says something here I would like your take on because I have a very strong opinion on what he's saying. I wonder what you think, though. He says, I guarantee 100% of the people who watch NXT watch Dynamite. Do you believe that?
I do, just because of the reaction that Blake
Huh.
Monroe got. Just because, like, if that was like a normal WWE crowd, like, who the fuck is this? Why is everybody reacting? Like, I mean, I am a bigger AEW fan than WWE. I still watch WWE. I don't keep up as much. Like, I don't watch every Raw, every SmackDown. I keep up with the highlights, that Wrestle Talk and the breakdowns
But
and the
you read my
reviews.
articles on fightsatw.com every week.
Yeah, I definitely scroll all the way to the bottom and then just click out.
The hell?
Um,
Yeah, I got
but yeah, it's like it's what was I saying?
you were talking about how the NXT crowd is like
Yeah, the
the way they
NXT crowd, it's, I don't know, the reaction that they gave them, it's the same thing. Like I feel like they're tuned into it. It's the same. It's, they just enjoy like good wrestling is what it comes down to, and they still have the storylines. They still have the goofy stuff, and I feel like I said, I watch AEW, I watch WWE. I don't watch NXT, but I know a lot of the people that are in there, just because
exactly.
even like when Adam Cole was
There you go.
there, I wasn't very well familiar with him, but I was still plugged into it, and it's almost now as deep as I gotten into getting back into like actual like wrestling matches. It's
Sure.
crazy. I feel like FOMO. Like, man, I need to like start watching like the Climax and the G6, and I need to keep up with everything because who knows where all these up and comers, like it's like the farm leagues of baseball. Like, I want to know who's the next up and comers because they're not in WWE.
Dude.
They're out there. They're in your city right now wrestling. Like, those are the future
Exactly.
of wrestling.
Exactly. And that's what that see, and you've said so many good points. And I think that you made my point in there somewhere because I don't believe 100% of people that watch one watch the other. Either or. I don't believe that at all. I'll tell you what I do believe. I think if you're a person who's regularly consuming NXT, then you're plugged into the social media scene with it when it comes to wrestling, right? What we used to call wrestling Twitter. Like, you're plugged in, so you know who the top AEW stars are. You probably know a couple of MLW guys. You probably heard that what's his name? Paul Thomas Hauser, is that how you say? Is that his name? The guy that played the suspect in the Olympic Atlanta bombing, that biopic. He also was in Cobra Kai. He's going to be in MLW this weekend, guys. He's having his first wrestling match in MLW. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
Mm.
Let me show y'all. Paul Thomas Hauser. Is it Hauser? Paul Walter Hauser. You don't know who that is?
Mm.
Let me show you real quick. It is this guy right here. You recognize him now?
Oh yeah, like the dude that does like backflips and shit.
Yeah. Well, he's an actor. He's an actor. He's been in a shit ton of
Oh, I
movies.
thought you were talking about the guy that's I can't see
Are
because
you
it's
looking
so
at the screen?
small. Yeah, I thought
Oh, is it
it's so
small? Oh, my
small
bad.
that
Let
I
me
thought you were talking about the
my bad.
guy that's like in NXT right now that does
No,
backflips
no,
and
no.
shit.
Do you see this guy? No,
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. The guy that John Cena put over. Yeah.
yeah,
No, no,
yeah,
no. This isn't the guy. You can you see him now?
yeah. He
You don't know
looks
who that is?
familiar.
Okay, so he was in Cobra Kai. He was Richard Jewell. That's who he is. You remember him in Richard Jewell? Remember this movie?
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that movie.
Yeah, this guy's like a super big wrestling fan. He did what's his name's show? The guy that we watch, the white guy. I don't know how else to put it other than the white guy.
The
Yeah,
one from Hot Ones.
no. No, the guy that does wrestling stuff, Chris Van Fleet. He did
Oh,
his
Van Vliet.
show a while back, but yeah, he was
The
in the
white guy.
Springsteen movie. Did I not nail him?
I mean, Van is like German or something.
Oh my god, dude! I can't believe you even said that on live air. Seriously,
It's his
seriously.
God-given name.
Whatever. I think I perfectly nailed him by calling him white guy, but whatever. I mean, he's just like a plain white guy. Like, there's no, I wouldn't call like the Paul brothers just white guys, right? Like, I'd have a full description for them. But either way, shout out to Chris Van Fleet. He's awesome. But yeah, this guy's been in a shit ton of stuff. He was in The Naked Gun.
He was in Collision.
Yeah, he's been in AEW in the crowd before. They've showed him in the back in
He
segments.
was. Oh, he was Mole Man
He's Mole Man. Yes, that's who he is. Where did you see that?
on
Oh,
like
there
there
he is.
halfway down.
Report. Yeah, my bad. I didn't see it. He is Mole Man. Thank you. I was like, he's in a superhero movie, and I kept thinking it was the one with John Cena, the remake. What was that called? Suicide Squad. I thought he
Oh.
was in that. Actually, he's in. I'm gonna plug him, dude, because I'm a fucking fan of this guy. He's in this movie called Balls Up with Marky Mark, and it looks really funny. He makes some condom.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, he makes it. Mark Wahlberg. My bad. I always forget his last name.
Wow, co-star.
Yeah, no. Listen, this is a really funny movie. It looks like a really funny movie. I haven't seen it yet, but they make a condom, and FIFA makes it the condom of the World Cup. So they're invited to the World Cup. They have premier like seats, right? And they were supposed to have their mascot on the field, and instead it's this other mascot that keeps taunting them. And so they get drunk, and Paul Walter Hauser runs after the mascot, and Mark Wahlberg runs after Paul Walter Hauser. Brazil kicks the winning World Cup goal, and it hits Mark Wahlberg in the head. And the referees are like, it doesn't matter. That's the end of the game. And they cost Brazil the championship. So they have to find a way out of Brazil, and literally every Brazilian in the world wants to kill them.
He
It
they
looks
have to
really
have
good.
something with him and Danhausen. Like that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Yes, I've been thinking this guy should be in wrestling for a very long time. You know who is on Raw in London, Adam? A name you'll know. Derek Chisora was in attendance.
Oh
That guy
wow.
would do really good in wrestling, right?
Yeah, I mean he just talks a bunch of shit. So I mean
Yeah.
he'll probably cut a really good promo with somebody. That's for sure.
And guy like boxer types have a really easy way in wrestling, right? They got the right hand and that's it. I mean, you really couldn't use that with WWE and Logan Paul right now, but everybody, every fighter, MMA, boxer, doesn't matter, transition and their move of moves is the right hand. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
anyway, let's get back to the Night of Champions in Rida this weekend, Saudi, Saturday, June 27th. There's a 1
You
p.m.
say
Eastern
Rida?
start time. I did say Rida. I'm sorry, Riyadh. Um, and Saturday, June 27th. He said, "Did I have a stroke?" 1 p.m. Eastern, so it's a 12 p.m. Central start time. Now, I will be covering for FightsATW.com. I got you covered. Don't you worry. Also, FightsATW.com's got Matt, and they're going to have Abe there for the rest of the weekend. I think Abe's already there. I think he touched down this week or this afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll be covering for Fights ATW. So if you're a combat sports fan like I am, who watches MMA, boxing, wrestling, FightsATW.com has to be the place that you make your home. And like I said, you'll be caught up on everything. So yeah, if you are excited for the boxing fight this weekend, then wet your whistle with Night of Champions. We'll be live for both. And then we'll be live again tomorrow, Sunday. I don't know if we'll make Great American Bash because we're going to play golf early, but we certainly will be live for Forbidden Door. So, and Matt's going to be live with us. So, shout out to talking about sports with Matt. Let me see. Okay, here we go. So the Gunther and Cody and Sami Zayn match. Adam, I'm going to throw it to you. Who do you think wins this?
I think that Cody will retain, but at the same time, a lot of people have been picking Sami Zayn. But I feel like the reason Cody's gonna win is because I mean Wrestle Talk said it too, and I'm heard this rumor from them, or not rumor, but booking from them, and it makes more sense that WWE would do this because of CM Punk's whole like, hey, like you did me a favor, now I'm gonna do you a favor, so when I come back, I want a shot at that right there on your shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah,
So he's gonna win, and then Punk comes back, and all right, it's my turn now again. Like then they just run it back, I guess, which seems pretty straightforward for WWE booking. But I mean, I can honestly can see this going any way. Like they could obviously it's gonna go play out differently, but I don't know. Like I feel like Cody's gonna win just because they've always wanted to keep it on him. That's the only reason
that's
I'm
a
kind
safe
of
pick
worried
for
that
sure.
Liv Morgan was going to win too, just because I feel like they didn't have anything for her. She was probably selling some merch. They were interested in making a music video and song. So, we got to have our champion associated with that. So, all right, you had
True.
your fun. You defended it one time. Here we
Yeah,
go.
but I don't know if Saudi's the place to be promoting women-centered music anyway. So I don't know. I think it's just a big fail all around. Although
Yeah.
I will say this: if it ends up being like Raquel and Perez, or one of them ends up like messing up Liv, like unintentionally, costing Liv the match, then at least it adds to the narrative, right?
Then by
Overall, but
WrestleMania,
whatever.
we'll get an
Yeah,
eventual
yeah, exactly.
Judgment Day split.
Then 2 years from now, we'll have that match, and then they'll just abruptly cancel it. Not that I'm complaining that Finn Balor got sent to fucking SmackDown, but Matt said, if you watch NXT, you know the top indie star is. Yeah, I agree, and I think you usually know, like I think AEW people that don't watch WWE at all know Mystery Iguana, right? Like I think there's no way at this point, if you're a wrestling fan that consumes an indie oriented product or a less than or some a product a promotion under WWE, there's a good chance you know that guy, right? And you watch enough stuff online to have consumed it. Mex, why do you call him a crybaby bitch? I'm genuinely asking. Genuinely asking. I never got to watch that movie. Was it good? I haven't watched it either yet. Me and my wife have been wanting to watch it. We got it back into House of Dragons. We had to finish House of Dragons before the new one started on Sunday. So of course we finished. Adam, did you finish it, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god, what a fucking episode, dude.
I know. I hate
I
that.
I don't want to talk about it on
I
live.
hate that I have to fucking wait a week now for the next
I
episode.
know, dude. And you know what's crazy? We did that. Me and Ash did this to ourselves. We watched the whole thing and it was so good because I remember having to wait and being like, that doesn't make any sense. They did this. And why wouldn't they have done that? And then it's like, oh, you watch and now you're like, oh shit. Okay, I get it. I get the story they're trying to tell now, right?
Yeah.
And I was so used to just watching one after the other that I'm like, I want to watch the next one fucking right now.
I
Right
know.
fucking now, dude. And yeah, I don't want to say anything because obviously other people are going to watch this and they haven't seen it yet. Uh, it is the best ending, like so satisfying. Thank that.
You
I
watched
love the ending.
New Rockstars
I
breakdown on it
haven't
yet?
yet. No, Ash. I was
Um,
about to watch it the other night, and Ash was like, "You're gonna watch it without me." I was like,
Dude,
"Fine,
Eric makes me
whatever."
feel like even more like emotional from his breakdown of it, like because he
Dude,
obviously
it's
points out the stuff that you missed watching it
you
the
know.
first time around.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I didn't realize this was like a story of like man's fear of women leading, right? Because it's like a real thing. Like I'm not saying that oh like Hillary lost because men hate women. I'm not trying to make this
That's
political at
probably the
all.
simplest foundation of it is just
Exactly.
that.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's just this like there is a percentage, rather whether how small or how large, I can't say, but there is a percentage of men that have a fear or don't like working for women, right? They don't like a woman boss, they don't like women cops, they don't like women with authority, whatever, how small it is. And this show just hits on it so well. Like the sun being the crux. Oh man. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to get into it because it's gonna be a fucking whatever. I do want to ask you. There's a rumor Sammy could win in Saudi. Based on the fact that he got that pop last time. Shout out to Matt. He said, if Sammy wins, I'm not watching SmackDown anymore. That's fucked up. What do you think? Yo, Alex said he's bad. He'll body slam your dad. That's hilarious. Mario, can you tell me about your Perros del Mal faction? What's their story? Why is Daga their leader? It's not, but that's okay. Well, we can talk about that. Anyway, Adam, what do you think about Sami Zayn possibly winning in Saudi?
I mean, I could, like as I said, I can see it happening. I can see all three victories happening, and obviously they would branch into their own story. I think Gunther would go into something maybe with Brock, like I said. If Cody wins, I think it's going to be CM Punk, and if Sammy wins, it may be Jay. Who knows? Like maybe they'll just run it back and do another one at SummerSlam or something. But I can see it honestly going away. I honestly from what they've done with it, I mean, it honestly would make more sense to not have Cody win it. I just think he is. But I mean, at least with Gunther and Sammy, you have something new in that in that division, for that belt. So I mean, I wouldn't be upset with it, but I mean, I can see it honestly happening.
Yeah, listen, Matt hates Sami Zayn. Actually, so does Mex. They hate Sami Zayn. So I know that their feelings on this represent a portion of the audience watching, right? And they would just hate it if Sami Zayn won. And that's fair. That's their opinion. That's fine. I'm more like a story guy. If the story works, you can tell it and I'll watch and I'll be enthralled. And I usually like it when it's an underdog guy. However, in this sense of the like Sammy's the bad guy, right? Yes, he's supposed to be the ultimate good guy, but he's the bad guy. And you're gonna get that over inside. I don't know. I don't know.
See,
It's a
and then this
very
is
touchy thing, I
this is
think,
me booking
at this
it, but
point.
like the way I feel like they should do it, and it would make sense if Sammy did win. Like, imagine if they're redoing all this bloodline stuff and they're recycling it. Imagine the symbolism or whatever you want to call it when Roman Reigns opens Raw with the bell with all the bloodline behind him, Jay and Jimmy and Jacob, and then Sammy comes out holding the fucking world championship on his shoulder when he was just like a little intern, you know, guy trying to get in good with the top guys in the bloodline.
Yeah.
And the story that is some long term storytelling, like you have
Sure.
Sammy face with the belt facing Roman with his belt. When just a few years ago,
That I
Sammy
don't think
was
they do.
I mean, I like that idea. Like as much,
Well,
I'm not a big fan of Sammy either. I love the dude's
I love
passion
Sammy.
and as long as he's been doing this, like I'm a fan of his. But I'm not like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to like watch matches of his or whatever. But he's exciting to watch. But that I mean, WWE loves a good promo, loves a good segment to post on social media, and the long term storytelling you can overall tell from that would be huge. And then especially if Jay wins, then it's like, does he choose Sammy? Does he turn around and choose Roman, like I said, or anything like that? But Sammy winning, that they have a lot more options, I would say.
Yeah, no. I agree. You're right. They have a lot more options. I just feel like it's a super WWE thing to do
It just
to
could be
have
a way,
Brock.
honestly, to knowing WWE is just to put the belt on Sammy so he can just drop it to whoever they want after that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that was what I was gonna say. It feels like a very WWE thing to do to give Sammy like this win that they can, you know, have the optics for, right? Because the optics would be huge. It would be this huge pop there in Saudi, assuming, right? Uh Here's the thing. You're gonna get it there, I think, bigger than anywhere, right? Even bigger than Canada. Like if Sammy's ever gonna get over with the title somewhere, that's probably the place that it'll be, and then you just take it from him, right? It was the same thing that they did with Drew McIntyre. I don't think that's the route they go because they already did the Drew McIntyre thing. But that said, I could absolutely see Jey Uso, Sami Zayn for the WWE title at
Yeah.
SummerSlam
I mean, shit,
because
you could even
opening
have it
card
where
like night 2, night 1, whatever.
you
Like,
could even have it where, I mean, this will make both the sides that don't like Sammy and do like Sammy have have him win it and then just drop it to Brock on get squashed by Brock on Monday or Saturday or whenever, and just drop the title to him there.
yo, I love Mex's comment. He said they can't waste a quick title change right now. They got to save it for Danhausen next month at the Garden for Saturday. He's been booking that. Yo, I'm very,
Have they
very
revealed
upset.
who's in the that Frankenstein thing yet?
No, they have not, but basically they've turned who was it? Miz, the other guy, and JD McDonough into like I don't
Like
know. I guess
zombies?
zombies ish. They've got like different brains now. I think JD was talking American and he was introducing himself to the Judgment Day. It was crazy, dude. I everything they've done has been funny. If this all ends with Baron Corbin, I will definitely not be thrilled. But
They should have
yeah,
Braun.
that's
It
what you
should be
said.
Braun Strowman.
Bat said you don't deserve a world title just because you've been somewhere for a long time. That's true. That's true. And here's the other thing. I'm not picking him. I'm picking Cody too. Adam picked Cody. I was gonna pick Cody. I only wanted to introduce this because it seems like a lot of people have a feeling Sammy's gonna win and either have a really quick title run or like the world title just becomes secondary or even third to a main event that involves Brock Lesnar and Obafemi on night 1, and then a Roman Reigns,
I
whoever,
mean,
on night
and they
2.
kind of did that. They kind of did that for Kofi. Like, all right, Kofi's been here a while. Here you go. All right, you're gonna drop it to
Exactly. Yeah,
Brock in
but
30
and that's what I'm
seconds.
saying. They just did it with Drew. Like they just did it. So it's like I don't think that should be the route they go. I don't think it will. I think Cody carries the title because, like you said earlier, Jay Cody have a history. You can build on that. Yes, Sammy and Jay have one too, but I think if you're WWE and you're considering SummerSlam matches, that one feels a lot more SummerSlam than anything involving Sammy. All right, so the last one, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar in the cage match. Uh, or
Brock
we
Lesnar.
didn't. I mean, I said Brock Lesnar. My bad. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins in a cage match. We didn't actually go through Stratton and Jade, but you think Jade's winning too, right?
Yeah, I would think Jay would win.
Yeah, the Tiffy's time seems over for now. Like I don't. There's nothing about her that feels face. Like I just don't. The character's in this no man's land. So I just think Jade makes the title more interesting. And I also think that Charlotte Jade match is much more SummerSlam than anything involving Tiffany. But Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker cage match. 2 questions, Adam. Who wins? And is this the end of the story
I
between
think I
Rollins and the
think
Vision?
I think Seth Rollins wins, and I hope it's the end of it. I mean, they have a poor choice of words. Like I think it was Michael Cole that. Well, that's the they finally put the Vision behind him, Seth Rollins. And it's like, were you saying that because they're like, you're trying to tell us like, oh, okay, finally it's over. Oh no, it's back again. I didn't see this coming. Like, no, you're pissing people off by doing this. This should
Yeah.
have ended months ago.
Alex said bodysuits boycott. That was a good one.
They should
Matt
put
said,
bodysuits on, but they should just be like see through in the spots that they want them see through.
yeah, like with nipple cutouts or what? He said, I'd rather watch Gilbert wrestle Orange Cassidy in an Iron Man match on loop. So yeah, the final match that we're going to talk about is the Rollins Braun Breaker. I agree with you. Seth Rollins wins. I agree. I hope it is the end. And I'm going to say it's the end. The reason I'm going to say it's the end is because I think no matter what happens between Oba Femi and Jey Uso, and no matter what happens in the world title triple threat, we're getting Rollins Roman. The reason I believe this is because it makes sense. It makes sense because it's being covered and it's being put out there by the journalists that have been more right lately. And then it's also makes sense within the lore of WWE and TKO and what we know. What we know is that they wanted that Rollins Roman match at Mania. They thought it would be something they should do where Seth Rollins wins the King of the Ring. You know, I watched as I was going to sleep a couple nights ago, Night of Champions from last year. And oh boy, is it a big downgrade. Last year, Cody Rhodes won by beating Randy Orton. Man, that felt really big, right? And the winner would go on to face the winner of John Cena and CM Punk at SummerSlam. So, like, they're already leagues below where they were last year. And so the only narrative that I can see them trying to salvage is by running back the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And if there's one thing that we can be certain about in the Paul Levesque era of booking is that he's going to just keep going. He's going to believe. Like, if he doesn't see a reason to pivot, which other than injury, there hasn't been a reason to see him pivot, I don't think he will. I think that the moment he could have done this match at the next big PLE, that's what he wanted to do. And, you know, there's two aspects to this. The first aspect is something that Matt brought up earlier. He said that Cody said something about The Rock on Ariel Arwani today, where he said essentially, hey, there's two stories involving The Rock, and one of them might not be told, and it's beyond my control. Something like that, right? I'm paraphrasing. I have heard just through like the Reddit Vine, which, you know, you can't really put a lot of stock into, but the louder and louder it gets, the more I'm starting to believe that The Rock is a chess piece on the board. I'm not saying he's coming now. I'm not saying he's coming by Mania. I'm saying that at some point they fully intend on cashing in on his side quest story that we have long past, right? And I am pretty sure that's going to happen. Cody's words solidify that. And if you're going to do that, then if you're Triple H and you know that's coming down the pike, you're going to want to check off the things that you had wanted to do before you got to that point. And I believe the Roman Seth story is very, very important for that. There's no, like, everybody keeps saying Oba needs to win. WWE knows that they need something different and something needs to. Why does WWE know that? They're making money hand over fist. They're doing record money. Why would they change anything? Because they haven't yet. And why would they go and make such massive change of having Oba win and creating a star in their 20s? Something they haven't done like in a ever, I think. Like, it's been a really long, like, since Brock Lesnar maybe was the last one they've done. And even in the Attitude Era, which they were much younger than they are today, they weren't in their 20s. Bret Hart wasn't in his 20s. Stone Cold wasn't in his 20s. The Rock wasn't in his 20s. These guys, by the time they were at the top, were well in their 30s, right? And so they're not making a new star. Braun Breaker's evidence of that. He's going to take this loss, and it's going to be a big fat L. Seth's going to go on, challenge Roman. We're going to get that story before whatever ends up being Survivor Series and ultimately Mania. But yeah, this one's got to get checked off. So I'm picking Seth. Braun wins by damn near squash. That would be very exciting to see. Very exciting that would be to see. Seth wins getting speared through the cage. Oh, that would be a good one too. I would love both of them, but I don't think either is going to
Yeah, I
happen.
think they will do some. I think they will have one big like crazy spot like that where Braun like said he's gonna go for a spear. Like they take the ropes off or something, and they go for a spear, and it like breaks the cage. Like there's some like trick cage or something. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna go for a crazy spot. It seems like every time Seth Rollins is in a cage match, something crazy happens that has to end. Like who knows? They'll do a fucking the Fiend thing where it's like the ref just calls the match off. Like it's happened before, it can happen again, kind of thing. But I don't know. It just seems like they're just Triple H is just he's so old that he wants to prove that hey, these old guys still got it. So let's have a Hogan Flair style like match. Let's just put. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
makes sense. These guys are over. They're the big
Next,
stars, and
no, no, no. You're right.
but I mean, you're not you're building this young talent at a very snail pace when they should be, when they should be in the main event scene and not just treated like teasing, like here you go, here they are. But I don't know. That's
Yeah,
that's on them, not on
Triple
not
H
on
is
anything
like
else.
has this idea where if you're in the ring with the guy, you just get the rub. Now that's true to a certain extent, but the idea that if we have like the rub like version between Hulk Hogan and Andre, right? And then you have like the rub version of like Gilbert being in the ring with Goldberg. It's not the same sort of transition, right? Like you got to already be a star to be to hit the next level. So yeah, I just think there's too much removed from that. And Max was right. The Rock was 27, dude, or 26. Well, let me see. 26. Yeah, when he won his first title. I did not realize that. Yeah, The Rock was 28 when WrestleMania 17 happened. Yeah, yeah. No, you win. So now that is not the full card. I thought that was a full card. That it's 6 matches. I knew it was 6 matches, but I've counted wrong. The United States Championship match between Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. Uh, dude, is there any chance that Ricky Saints wins? You think?
I think they'll keep it on Trick for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the way that they would go, like 9 out of 10 times. I wonder, I wonder
I think
how
they'll have
much.
Chad Gable go for it eventually.
Oh,
Like
that would
have
be
like
a good.
this
That would
whole
be good for him.
he's
Yeah,
going on
yeah,
this whole redemption arc, and honestly he's good on him for like as much as shit as he gets from like Mexican fans and other people who call bullshit on it. Like he took this shit and he ran with it, and he
yeah.
got
He did a
over
great job.
bad. Like in defeat, he got over where the Mexican crowd was cheering for him, and that's what matters. Like you can talk all the in hindsight bullshit online you want, but he got over, and the crowds there don't fucking lie. They're not going to cheer somebody they don't want to. And that match and everything, he's taking his ball and he's running with it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm just glad that they're giving him this arc of like redemption, like him and Otis, and now Maxine kind of getting involved and being that kind of obviously you don't want them to just hug it out right there, so they're going to build this, which is the good thing. So I'm kind of that's my favorite thing right now going on is Chad Gable watching his redemption arc.
yeah. No, no, no. I agree. I will say this. I think that the politics of WWE work in a way that I do believe Ricky Saints has a shot to win this weekend. I'm gonna officially pick Trick Williams because the WWE slow rollout I think is still
Could have
working with
like
him,
Leon
right?
Slater debut and cost Trick the
Oh,
match.
that would be sick. That would be sick.
I don't know what
But
their stories are like, but their
yeah, yeah, no, no,
contracts.
no. But the thing is that you're in a position where you could pull the trigger now on Ricky Saints, and I think that at some point you link up Cody and his Nightmare family and faction, and you know you can keep that guy under a Cody thumb, and that kind of puts a governor on his rise. And
WWE
I
does it just to have the picture of Cody, Jade, and Ricky
exactly.
with belts
No,
on
no,
them.
no, 100%. 100 because that's a great optic, dude. That on X gets millions and millions and millions of
I
likes,
mean,
right? And
in
that's what
in
they're
in
after.
AEW's
That's what they're
defense,
after, the
those are
optic.
all still former champions. Like Jade was undefeated the whole
Yeah, well,
time.
Cody wasn't good enough to win a WWE, I mean an AEW world title. But that's neither here
He
or
wasn't
there.
allowed to
Listen,
challenge for it.
Yeah, exactly, because he wasn't good enough to win it. So anyway, the point here now is I want to ask you real quick, your level of excitement as far as Forbidden Door goes. And then I'd like you to go into I have you heard what the observer was saying, the big I don't want to call it a controversy. I don't think it's a controversy at all, but it has become controversial. They said that both WWE and AEW right now don't have a quality main storyline, and they've been missing one for a while. Uh, they went on to say that it was what's his name, not Dave, the other one. What's his name? What's Dave's
Um,
co-host name? Dave Meltzer.
the one with the Mexican last name.
Yes,
It's like Ryan.
it is Brian Alvarez. Yeah,
Brian
so
Alvarez.
Brian Alvarez basically said that you know, AEW and WWE were both missing top uh programs. So tell us your excitement for AEW Forbidden Door, and then tell us what you think about that statement.
Like I'm excited for it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of like criticism because there's like what kind of forbidden door? There's like there people are expecting every single match to have somebody from another organization, another company in it. Which I mean, yeah, there's been previous forbidden doors where it's been way more heavily involved, but at the same time, we're still getting like. We're probably there's probably gonna be some stuff. I'm gonna catch up on Dynamite, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna make another match on it that will include somebody or have that. But when you have some like what's his name, Shota Umino, whatever how you
Yeah,
pronounce it, he'll be on it. Starlight Kid, I think, and then that Zack Saber
that's a good
Jr.
match too.
you
That
know
Starlight
so
Kid match is a very good
yeah,
match.
so I mean they'll have some stuff there. I mean it's enough for it, but yeah, I'm excited for it just because I've gone into AW pay-per-views before not knowing what I'm expecting and still like excited about the matches, and I know that they're going to put on great matches, especially Swerve and Will. But
Yeah,
as far as like I don't know why these feel like these reporters and people that break news like that, they say shit just to get stuff stirred up and get it because they obviously right now it's like this weekend is a huge weekend for wrestling like TNA and WWE. It's like it's all the three big promotions right now are having big events going on.
yeah.
So I mean I don't I mean it's so easy to say that, and then you can ask them like, well, what would be right now? What would you do in AEW to be or WWE? Like, what's the big storyline you can do? It's like it's so easy to say like, yeah, there's not a big storyline going on right now. It's like, I mean, I guess like.
It's like
uh,
what's your not basis, like
I
what
mean, I
like
just don't.
what's
I
a big
think that
storyline?
I
Like if
think that
you're
the top of the top for AEW has been Hangman. I mean, there's a reason it won like storyline of the year.
yeah, no, no, no.
And
And
that story, that entire arc, that long term storytelling, it's been great. And I think that's the main story going on right now. Is not even in the world heavyweight, obviously, because the world heavyweight championship's not even being defended. It's in a fucking cage match. The main event, the main storyline going on is Osprey on his quest to win the Owen.
yes, very
And
much so.
there's as much of the shit that it gets for saying that oh, it's so predictable, it's exactly what we wanted, but everything has made just sense. Every single match that Will has had has been his comeback, beating Mark Davis, and then having to fight Swerve again after
I
all their
thought it was
shit.
an incredible tournament run, right? Like when you tell a story throughout like a tournament, right? Like Obafemi's story is going on right now as it relates to the King of the Ring tournament. His storyline is amazing. His performance through the King of the Ring has been amazing. Will's has been amazing. He's had different types of matches with different types of stories, and it's really worked. So if him and Swerve can go out there, put on a 5-star, and close this out really well, I think it works really, really well, and it's a big push in the right direction. I don't think it's like a big time storyline. I really don't, and I don't think the WWE is really in that, because it's like this, right? If you're like Mex just said this, he said, I honestly didn't know any wrestling was going on this weekend. So how big is it? And that's the point. If you are looking at like WrestleMania 42 or last year's SummerSlam as the basis for the big storytelling, because that's what we've been getting over the last 3-4 years, then that's what you expect as a big storyline. That's what you expect of these major, moments and accomplishments. And then you go through the AEW lore, the biggest storylines in their history, they grabbed all the headlines, right? And so it's like, you go back to Punk, right? And obviously Omega and some of that kind of stuff. Um, all I know is that right now, I think that they're both on a very good trajectory, right? They're both pushing different narratives, different types of wrestlers, right? And that's what you got to do as a big time wrestling promotion, right? When you're in indies, you're going to cast out that single fucking reel, right? You put that shit on the line and you're waiting. But when you're a big company like WWE or AEW, you're casting that fucking net wide, dude. You're throwing out different lures. You're on a fucking boat hunting marlins and fucking sharks, and you're seeing what works between those 2 hours to 4 hours weekly TV, right? And right now, I guess I am excited for both Forbidden Door and for Night of Champions. Do I think that either are live up to their names and their, biggest promotions? No, not even close. There have been Night of Champions where every single title was on the line and the biggest wrestling stories were like combined, right? And there's been Forbidden Doors that actually felt like New Japan versus AEW. That said, though, I think it's a very good card. I really do. From top to bottom. Who do you think?
I think it's just it's not
Oh, you know what? Let
plausible
me do
to
this.
have an all in or WrestleMania caliber pay per view every single time. It's just not going to happen. Like you have to take the good with the bad. You have to take the transitional periods, like right after WrestleMania, right after All In, everything kind of resets. And that's just the way it works. You have to let these storylines breathe. You have to let you have to let the fans know what you want, what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. No,
that's
no, you're
what it
absolutely
really
right.
comes down to. And I feel like AEW won promotion of the year for a reason. Like, were they 100%? Were they just like 10 out of 10 every single show, every Dynamite, every Collision, every pay per view? No, but they were the most consistent and like the most fun to watch. Like I
Mm.
remember. It's brought back and it's made me appreciate pro wrestling so much more back in when we used to watch it in the Attitude Era because we were still kids. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we liked the crazy shit that was going on with the promos,
ECW.
and
Yeah.
then the matches are kind of like, oh, they had matches also. But now I can appreciate all that humor and other stuff that was going on, the promos, the mic work, but that I can also now finally appreciate the storytelling and understand storytelling when it comes to in-ring work.
Man,
And that's where it comes, like that's where I feel like AEW has really, and that's why there's so many
I agree.
hardcores of
No, no, no.
AEW
I
because
agree
of
with that.
wrestling.
But I'm so glad you just said that. I'm so glad you just said that. And you brought up the Attitude Era like that because you want me to tell you something? I started watching Raw, like old Raws, and I started like going down the line. I think I'm at like where am I? SummerSlam 94 is where I'm at right now on the like timeline. And there aren't a bunch of Raws, right? That's what I sucks about this Netflix thing is that the Raw vault is like half of what it's probably not even half. It's probably like a quarter of what it used to be. And obviously no SmackDown and stuff like that. But either way, I went back and I watched, and I can tell you what's missing for me as a fan of the Attitude Era and as a fan of like 80s and 90s wrestling is that the realism from those matches. Like when I go back and watch Stone Cold and Bret Hart, it looks like they're fucking hurting each other.
Yeah.
Like you don't see Bailey kicks, and I'm not trying to pick on her. I shouldn't have even said a name, but you don't see these pulled punches, these clearly telegraphed moves and spots that you see today. Like look, AEW is very physical by comparison, and I love it. But I'll be honest, when you sit there for a minute or, to let the guy get set to get a spot, it takes you out of the match. When you see WWE wrestlers wrestling this very TV match and they're just like clearly not making contact, right? You're basically giving WrestleMania the chance to thrive and survive and grow. Like all these wrestlers that hate it, like you're
Yeah.
adding to it, you add to it. And a lot of those mistakes are, like everybody botches, everybody makes a mistake, everybody has a misstep, but not everybody used to, at least, um, give up the realism for the style of it, right? It looked like Stone Cold was making contact with Sid Vicious or Undertaker or The Rock's head.
It's
I thought he was
like
punching them.
watching Roosh fight. Like that motherfucker is like they make the joke of like when Roosh fights is like, can somebody tell him like this is that this is scripted? Like cause he is fucking going crazy like on his
Yeah, for
matches.
sure. No, no, no. Matt said AEW's fake strong style. Alex said bullshit. AEW won promoter of the year because Wrestling Observer is pro AEW publication. Dave Meltzer is under Tony Khan's thumb. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to pretend like Dave doesn't skew that way. Obviously, you can
I
look at
mean,
the 5-star matches and see that.
Is ESPN under Tony Khan's thumb because
That's a
they
fair
said it
point too.
also.
They've shit on WWE and praised AEW, especially as of last year. And you're right. I mean, you could make the point that they got ESPN to stop doing
I
stories
mean,
on the fucking
and
matches. I
when
mean,
you
on
can
the event,
really
the
peel back
PLEs. I
the
mean,
layers, when you can peel back the layers and not try. I'm not saying people are biased, but there's some people that are
no, people are
biased.
biased. People are biased.
I'm biased to AEW, but I can honestly say that I can peel back, you know, and hold it back and really try to take it for what everything for what it is. And I just rather watch A. If I had one choice to watch a promotion, it's gonna be AEW, and it's just
I bet
because of the wrestling. It's because of the stories. It's just. Everything that it does, it's something for everybody. You know what I mean? There's crazy party
I get
matches. There's hard like watching Moxley and his like shoot style
There's more
against Kyle
traditional match stuff.
O'Reilly
Yeah,
and
no, no, you're absolutely right. But here's one aspect of it though. To be fair, I'm going to try to play devil's advocate. When you're WWE, you're living up to a bar that's been set by Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Batista. I mean, you go down the line, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko. I mean, you get the WCW lore and the WWE lore all together, and you get to take credit for all of that, right? So the bar that you have to live up to is also detrimental, right? Because everybody who is familiar with those things knows what the cruiserweight era was like for WCW. They know what the invasion angle was like in WWF, WWE, right? They know uh what the best moments felt like in WWE. And so by comparison, sometimes I think you can have a not bias because you enjoy one or the other, but a bias simply because you know one more than the other. So you expect more from one than the other. And I know I can be guilty of that because when I see these storylines that don't make any sense and end up nowhere and then get fucking totally tossed out on WWE, I hold them to a bigger standard because the creative team has had some of the most fucking iconic creative people in wrestling. And so it's like if you have not built a company that solidifies and encourages that kind of creative and you just try to choke them out by having things done from like a corporate mindset, right? Like
yeah.
who would look good with the belt? Who like because that's WWE. Like it's so funny how many people call this like a right-leaning company or a MAGA company. And like, yes, of course they have ties to Trump, but the idea that they're not somehow this giant DEI machine is ridiculous, right? They want gay people watching. They want straight people watching. They want girls, boys, men, women, old, young. They want everybody watching the
18 to
WWE.
49.
Yeah, or 18. Exactly right. My bad. And so when you think about that, you think about a much higher bar that you have to set. And
I
so yeah,
will
I
say
can be
this
fair in that
though.
standpoint.
I will say this though. It is and has been a new era in wrestling ever since the Attitude era, and that honestly, not to talk shit about like reporters or like you know your like podcast and everything, but MJF had said this too. Like there was a time when you know the reason why seeing Scott Hall on WCW, we lost our shit and what is going on, our brains like exploding was because we had no idea what we didn't know what contracts were going on
Great
and
point.
that kind of
Great
talk.
point.
And that is just
Very
unless
few
you
did.
really put yourself outside of social media, there's no way to get out of that now. And you know, kudos to WWE for at least trying things like you know when Kevin Owens attacked Cody, and they kind of had it like on a recorded like phone. It seemed candid. Like they're going out of their way. Like it's the same thing with social media. You have to put yourself out there. You can't just do fucking ads in the newspaper anymore. Like times have changed. Like things just people understand and people like things that are going on now, like done a specific way. And the fact that everything is out there, contracts and this guy's contracts up here. Like obviously we're gonna see him in AEW. Like you kind of ruin it for yourself. It's kind of like knowing
Yeah.
as a kid
No,
what
no,
you're
no, you're
getting for
absolutely right.
Christmas.
No, it's,
But I
you
mean,
know what it's like?
it's
It's like all
different.
these
But you
people. It's like all these people watching the Spider-Man drops and the Doom drops, right? Like you're watching, like, okay, first of all, if those things are even real, right? We don't know for sure. I think they are from what I've seen,
no, they
from people in
confirmed
the
that one
industry.
is
Well, they did
AI.
confirm which
But
one? Which one?
the one that had Captain America at the very end when the crowd's reacting and stuff, all that's AI.
Oh, I didn't know that
But
one
the
was
Eric
right.
Ross did say that there is some stuff in there that is from the Comic-Con trailer.
Wait,
So
but did you see the one where Doom raises the Sentinels?
that's with Cyclops.
Yes,
Yeah, that's I think that
that
entire
is
thing is
AI.
AI.
You're
But like I
sure?
said, yes, it's AI
Okay.
done. But
Some fucking badass AI. Let me tell you
y-
that right now, because
yeah,
they
it's AI, but they Eric did say that some of that stuff it does happen. So it's like really good. Like if somebody snuck a video, like they had some kind of like template to use to go off of. But some of the
see
stuff
that
that
doesn't make
happens
sense
does
though.
happen in
Then
the
it's like
trailer.
if they did, so it was like they did it AI, but they went off of like this like script part
Yeah,
that
for
they
all
have
we
or
know, that's
something.
exactly what the trailer looks like, but it's
Okay,
just
okay.
AI done.
So, and that's what I want to say is like I'm not saying it's good AI, like it looked good, because it didn't, right? It looked like an unfinished product, and that's kind of the reason it tricked at least me, and I think a lot of other people, is because it didn't look badass. It looked like it was undone. It looked like the kind of thing that you could get to leak, because there are so many hands in the cookie jar when it comes to tightening up the motion capture and the, you know, the effects and all that, the graphics. Like when it comes to that, there's so many people contributing that, you know, and so it's like you ruined that. I agree with you fully, right? It's just a different era, and I don't think there's any going back. But I want you to listen real quick to what he said.
Everyone's gonna get mad at me.
Take one for the team.
I mean, I think in AEW and WWE, like there's really
W.
nothing to sink your teeth into right now. I mean, in AEW, there's like a lot of great matches and everything like that, but there's like one big storyline, which is who is going to go for the title at Wembley, and it's like we've known for months. I mean, there's really no drama. I mean, you know, Swerve's not winning, and you know, there are various reasons for it in both companies, but you know, matches put together. I mean, 12-man cage match, and then they just did the 12-man cage match on TV without a cage for free. I mean, my point is, when I watched Dynamite, I was like, I mean, what is there really for people to be, you know, sinking their teeth into, except, you know, you see a good match and then you get into the last 5 minutes of it. And it's like, and with WWE, it's the same thing I've been talking about. It's like, yes, I get it. Sometimes it's cool to like not know who's going to win the King of the Ring or whatever. But like up and down the show, it's like, what am I really invested in? Like,
Well,
I don't know. Maybe after this weekend, everything's going to feel hot leading up to Wembley and leading up to SummerSlam. But I can tell you that right now, watching all these shows, it's like I see good matches, you know, I see some good promos here and there, but what is like grabbing me right now? And the answer is nothing.
Where
I
are
can't
all
think
the
of one
puppies?
storyline that's like really grabbing me right now.
Dude, that guy needs to get laid. Like, geez,
Oh
just sit
shit.
back and enjoy some like wrestling. Like,
Yo,
we're
real
gonna
quick.
critique it up the ass, but geez, like,
Yeah, no, exactly. Yo, shout out to Alex real quick, because he just reminded me of this story that came out, I think yesterday. Yeah, TNA's Joe Doring is in hospice care, and man, that's fucking shitty, dude. This guy, absolutely talented, and that's not why it's shitty, obviously, but it definitely adds to the shittiness of it, right? But yeah, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, dude, this that was a puppy's remark, I think, for sure, dude. Just like this old man, you know. That was a good one, dude. That would actually, here's the thing.
maybe I think he's a little too old to watch wrestling, maybe.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't hate a storyline where it'd be like let's say Liv's like the women's champion and like EO's like loses at SummerSlam. Or no. Let's say like like Liv's the champion after SummerSlam, and Raquel and Perez have like left her, right? And they're like mad at her, and they both want a title shot. And Liv's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna give y'all a title shot. You know what? I will let them have a number one contender match, but I pick the match. And then she goes out there and she's like, y'all are wrestling in a bra and panties match. The fucking internet would go crazy. But the disrespect, oh man, that
Yeah.
bro.
You can't do that because of the whole
No, of
divas
course.
thing. But
No,
I
of
mean,
course. But I mean, because that's the thing is you're basically shitting on that entire era. And I mean, obviously that era was shit, but you know, yeah, I don't think they would ever do that. But I would mark out, I would be like, oh my God, this is incredibly disrespectful, and I'm here for it. Like, obviously Liv would have to lose at the end, but
I hope
oh
that this
boy, oh
guy
boy, oh
does a
boy, oh
live. I
boy.
hope that guy does a live watch of like All In when Will wins it, and it has fucking just a single tear runs down his eye. Like I get it
Yeah,
now.
I get it. It was beautiful. So are you? So obviously you're picking Will. I'm picking Will. Yeah. So Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. I will say this for everybody that's been like, "Oh, Forbidden Door is not Forbidden Door," and stop doing this pay per view because New Japan's not anything. This is the WWE to TN or the NXT to TNA type of relationship, whatever. I will say this: Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. very much feels like
As long as Kenny doesn't talk on the microphone.
yeah, it very much feels like a Forbidden Door type match, right? This is a match that wouldn't happen in any other sort of way. That said,
Dude,
I
Mox
don't know how many more times
Bandito,
you're gonna.
that's a fucking match right there.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a terrific match. Who do you think wins between Omega and Sabre Jr.?
I think that Kenny would put Zach over. I think he'd do that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Zach's going to win. I think it's going to add to the Kenny stuff, right? And it's hard though, because if your whole plan is for Kenny to get the belt by London, which I don't think is the point anymore,
No,
but
there's no way that's
if
happening
it
now.
was, yeah, it would be really hard for you to
It's
do
gonna be
that.
Max and Will that's
Yeah,
and
I think
Will
you're right.
honestly that it makes sense now too. Like everybody's saying like, oh, what is this Owen? Like it's everything we wanted. So gross. Like give us
Yeah.
something we don't want. Like I don't
No, I get
understand
that.
that. I don't understand that whole thing. It's like this is what's supposed to happen and it's happening and you're missing all the great storytelling by critiquing it. Just fucking
And he's saying,
enjoy it.
I get what he's saying, like, because like you
Well,
look
Will
at the
even said
Oba
it. This isn't
semi,
the semifinal. This isn't the main thing. Yeah, he's gonna win the Owen. No disrespect to that or whatever, obviously. But the finals
it does
is
feel
Wembley.
disrespectful to Strickland though, right? I mean, it's like nobody's giving him a shot.
No, and I
He's
think
not
that's
going to
why,
win.
and off script or not, as it was when he said "fuck that," like when the crowd lost it, like
Yeah.
I think that was like, okay, we get it, we know Will's gonna win, but we still have to tell the story. You're not gonna send what do you want Swerve to go out there and be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose, because of pre-scripted, right? Like, no,
Yeah.
you gotta fucking tell the story. The show must go on. You gotta tell it. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick. Alex said, I saw Ruka losing her belt before at SummerSlam, botching a little too much and put her social on private. Did you see that story, Adam?
Mm-mm.
So, over the weekend, I think it was a house show in London, I think. Sol Ruka was wrestling a multi-man match where Liv Morgan was one of the opponents on the other side of the tag, and she ended up injuring Liv, and it was like this really scary moment captured on fans, camera phone.
Mhm.
And so Liv was like writhing in pain, grabbing her knee. She rolled out. Sol Ruka in the next like 24 hours got just this fucking flood of hate. Like you wouldn't believe. And a lot of them are just like psycho ass Liv fans, but a lot of them are just like people like, dude, this maybe shouldn't be something you should do. You're just like injuring people. You're a botch machine. Like, and I don't think it's a fucking fan's business to tell someone who actually does it, whether they're capable or not. That said, though, I remember when this narrative was going with Nia Jax, and I very much didn't, appreciate Nia constantly injuring people. So I don't know. I liked Sol
I
Ruka. I
remember
thought she had
when
a
Nia
lot
had that
of.
whole thing with Charlotte and she
Oh, I
power
know.
bombed her one time and slammed the absolute fuck out of her.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Matt said MJF Ospreay has been the match for this. Yeah, you're definitely right. So look, What about, I want to ask you on the Cage and Cope versus the Dogs. Obviously, Cage and Cope are winning, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna set up at the TLC for All In. That's gonna be crazy.
And so when that TLC happens, it's going to be who? Cage and Cope, Young Bucks, and
I
FTR.
would think FTR. You could even do 4-way, put the dogs in there just to have a little bit of both, but because you obviously you want that. I mean, that'll put it 50-50 kind of thing. Um, I mean, I don't know. I kind of want. I've been wanting the guns to go. Their dudes are so fucking talented. They just had bad luck with injuries and stuff, but the tag team division in general is just like so much potential. And Young Bucks being able to wanting to put guys over, like having the dogs win, so they can have this thing with Cage and Cope, and um, yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's gonna be a great match with them two, but I do think Cage and Cope win, and
Yeah,
then
I agree.
I think they'll set up something. They got a month to
So
set up the matches.
So I asked you about that one, and I asked you for a reason, because we're going to go into the El Sky team, which is going to be such a fun match with the Young Bucks and Unbound. The three-way tag, I think it's on the opening, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but either way, that's going to be a really fun match. Let me ask you this: in either of those two matches, would it make sense, assuming that all the rumors are true and the New Day is all but going to AEW, would it make sense to drop a hint there if they are secure? I know that they technically can't um sign or go anywhere until I think it's right after July ends, if I'm not
hmm
mistaken. But would it make sense if things are secured to do some sort of tease, or I don't know, anything? I mean, they can't appear, but
I mean, it would speak a lot more. It would speak volumes if they did it on TV. But I feel like MJF saying it's a new day, on social media. Yes, it is. Like, and I think that's enough for them to know, like, okay, like we want them here. But at the same time, I don't think they have to. But I mean,
yeah. No. Alex made it a good point too. He said, can they put a tag team under the age of 40 in that TLC match? Here's the thing I'm going to say. I think that there are certain aspects and certain gimmicks that deserve to be paid off. For example, the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys had their match last year, right? At TNA's Bound for Glory. And that they deserve that. They deserve those moments, right? I think Edge and Christian deserve a TLC moment. I do agree that I'm worried for them to compete in a TLC match at this age of their career, at this age in their career. But ultimately, I just feel like they've earned the right to do it if they want to do it. And the Young Bucks are still going strong. Like I understand the push for
Matt.
the
I
Young.
mean, not Matt. Nick is young. I think he's only like 35 or 36. I think Matt's the older one.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of old, but
And the
whatever.
dogs too. Finley's what, like 30, 32?
Yeah, and I listen to the point Alex made. He said WWE for their Hollow Tag division has younger teams. Street Profits, for example, are still in their early to mid 30s. That's a very good point. Although a lot of internal discussion, this is the rumor. This is what's being reported by reporters who are much more tapped in than me. But they say that WWE execs and TKO execs are complaining about the tag division in a way that they think there are stars that could get put over if they were showcased in a way. They also are very, from what I understand, reminiscent, or they're bringing up tag teams like The Rock and Mankind, or when Stone Cold would tag with somebody, and how you can pair two major guys together and ascend them in a way that you can't do as a faction or as a single run, right? And all those points combined with rumors that they're bringing back Enzo and Cass, and they're going to beef up the tag division. All that points to the fact that tag team wrestling is relevant and it can work, right? And they know that. And so having that heavy push, I think, matters. Yo, Mario, I'm about to show you some cool shit happening near where I live. All right, hell yeah, text me. So anyway, the final one I wanted to talk to you about, the Mercedes Moné and Maya World for the Owen Hart Foundation. What do you think about Mercedes Moné, where she is right now? And Do you think that AEW's gotten the return on investment with her?
I mean, I think so. Like the run she had when she was, the belt collector. I mean, that's kind of put her on the map to like it's kind of you can't really argue it too much. Like I mean, to be at that level of stardom where every promotion is going to be on board with you just collecting belts from other organizations and just having your, I mean, it makes sense. Like you trust this person to showcase your belt on national television. And like I feel like it's a pretty it's an easy argument to make that she's probably going to go down as one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, because in simple fact, for her accolades, like what are the women in professional wrestling has ever done this? Like to be at that level to get this even done. Like you think that fucking, some like do you think Bailey's gonna go around and collect? I mean, maybe she's a big enough name, she might be able to do that, but there's it's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas because that's not gonna happen. And Mercedes did it. So it's one of those arguments that it's right now, it's what's happening. You have to call it like you see it. And I mean, I think as of right now, I know there was a lot of stuff. Like I don't know, I thought her and Britt Baker kind of really shit the bed on what could have been a great match.
Very much so.
But for what she's done, what did with Tony Storm, and I think Tony is like one of the is in line for being in that same like category, because man, when she comes back, I love everything that she did. But
Yeah.
you have, like I said, you have to call it like you see it. You have to go with what's happening, and I think Mercedes is just gonna go down as the GOAT of women's professional wrestling.
Yo, Mex just sent me this thing, Adam. I'm gonna try to put it on screen. They're doing a pro wrestling 101 training camp for kids ages 8 through 15 in his area.
Jeez.
These are professional wrestlers, and they're gonna hold a kids camp. This is fucking sick, dude.
Hey, parents, you want to come see your kids break their backs at an early age?
No, but think about it. They're gonna have them do bumps, right? They're gonna have them do like rollovers.
Yeah, they got the
and
crash
stuff. They're
pads
gonna
and stuff like that.
exactly.
It's
They're
like
gonna
it's like
run
going
the
to Jumping
ropes.
World or the trampoline park. Like you're gonna jump around.
Dude, this is awesome, man. If Corpus had one for adults a while back, and I had talked to the guy and said I wanted to do it. They didn't have it by the time
We
I was
had
ready
one in our
to do it.
backyard.
Yeah, exactly. My fucking cousin almost broke my neck with a power bomb. But anyway, real quick before we go, I want to ask you your opinion. Xander Zayas and Boots Ennis fighting this weekend. Probably like, in my opinion, the biggest fight of the year. Like for this level, obviously there are bigger names and stuff.
Xander's eyes, he dyed his hair blonde. He means business.
Means business. Yeah, this is I'm gonna say it's like most competitive. I think like hardcore fan favorite fight of the year, right? Who you picking?
I want Xander. I want Xander to win. I think he can win.
You think Xander wins?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Xander can win. I haven't yet made my prediction, but I am
Ronda? You think Ronda's on the level of Sasha Banks?
He said everything Sasha has done. The other three horsewomen, Ronda, Asuka, and Rhea, can do 10 times better. Stop glazing her, bro.
I mean, they can
Puerto
do it,
Rican
but have they
blonde,
done it?
that's
You know what
hilarious.
I mean? They can do it, but have they done
True.
it? Got to call it like
honestly,
you see
it
it.
would have been great if Ronda would have done some work, and she didn't even have to like wrestle. Like she could have just, but
She was
a lot of people,
horrible.
nobody thought the same as me. But anyway, dude, appreciate you jumping on. I'll let you go here before I do my sign off, but we'll be live this weekend. You'll be with us.
I'll be with it.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, later.
That was Adam Ant doing all he can to get ready for this weekend. Exciting fights we have, exciting matches. We'll be live for it all. Machine Gun Matt's going to be in the building, he said. Mario, before you go, can you address the Dustin Poirier situation? I think people are overreacting. So I heard about this. I was actually on the shitter, and I was just going through reels, and I didn't know the story at that point. I had seen somebody's reel and they were basically shitting on him. I haven't seen the footage. I'll watch it now. But you're saying people are overreacting to the situation. Let's see. So we'll just do Yahoo Sports. Fuck it. All right. So, for everybody that hasn't, you know what? Let me just do this. Yeah, because maybe some people, they're asking what the hell happened. So let me just read the article. Chris Quick of Yahoo Sports, contributing writer, said UFC legend Dustin Poirier was arrested in Georgia on Sunday for public drunkenness. Per multiple reports, after an incident in Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, which I've been to many times, the 37-year-old Poirier was booked at 6:38 p.m. per TMZ and was released a few hours later. The retired UFC star reportedly made a court appearance Monday per MMAfighting.com. A charge of public drunkenness in Georgia is a misdemeanor. Individuals who are convicted can face a year in jail, a fine up to $1,000, or both. Specifics of the incident are not known yet, but TMZ Sports published body cam footage that picked up after Poirier outside of a gate at the airport. It's not clear what happened before the footage started, but at one point, Poirier threatened to fight the officer. Eventually, more officers showed up. Poirier was arrested. All right, let's see this. Can y'all see this? Oh, it's kind of small. Hold on.
Let's go, big dog.
Hold on. Let me make it bigger. Can y'all see that better? Yeah, there we go. Let's see what happened to Dustin.
Let's go, big dog.
What's going on?
What's up? Bunch of hoes. Let's go. Let's go.
Relax.
No, they you lying. Yeah, pull me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib. Now what the
And this is why he got
All right. You Dustin Poirier?
Man, you, bro.
All right, just relax.
Man, you and her. I'll fight you right now.
No, I don't want to fight, bro.
I'll go with you right now.
Bro, I don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to
Let's
fight.
go.
I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
Radio, have you
Yeah,
step
tell
up.
him, come on.
Get a couple of
Because it's gonna be bad.
Bro, just
It's
step
gonna be
up.
bad, my nigga.
Bro.
Yikes.
What's up?
Oh, no. He said it? Oh. Now, I want to make it very clear here. I have always been a free speech advocate. A real one, not like the fake ones that have been very fake. And the thing is this, right? The Chud the Builder stuff, which it was crazy how long my community went without realizing what was going on with that. But that's brought a narrative. I think that like it was never okay to say for people, right? Like the majority of America says that or feels that way, or at least tries to gaslight or what's the word? Virtue signal. That said, though, this is like the most heightened time for it, right? Like Chud the Builder put it like in a really tight box. So yeah.
Bro, relax.
You want to fight?
Radio 237.
You wanna
Radio,
fight
start
something?
several units.
How you boys not gonna fight something?
I have it. Radio
Bro,
237.
Drunk,
Boy,
bro?
Bro,
You
relax,
gonna
relax, relax,
You
bro.
gonna taste
Relax.
me?
Relax,
You
bro.
gonna taste
I
me,
copy.
dog?
Relax.
Bro, I'm gonna bang you up.
Bro, relax.
Give me a good one.
Just relax.
Give me a good one.
Yeah, he's drunk as shit.
They kicked him off the
Bunch
flight.
of hoes,
This
bro.
guy's a
Bunch
UFC
of
fighter.
ass-
So, you know.
What's going on, brother? Talk to me.
Man, the beach is lying hoes, man. Let's go. Arrest me. Let's go. Let's go. Arrest me. That's the best way, dog. That's the best way. That's the best way. Hey, pound it.
All right, man.
Man, you did a great job, bro. You did a great job. You did what you could.
Holy shit. Okay, so all right, I don't know what the reaction is. I'm assuming it was the N-word thing that got him in trouble. He said, listen to the Cajun come out. Yeah, I noticed that from the fucking get-go. Man, where was something like this when we were Yo, yeah, the legend shit, right? That would be dope, dude. Honestly, where is that now where I'm a fucking adult? I would go to wrestling camp tomorrow. CT and alcohol don't mix. He's from Louisiana. Of course he said it. Calm down, Wody. Yo, listen, here's the thing, bro. If people were overreacting about like okay, I want to be very careful here. He's from a certain place, right? I've never lived there. I've never actually even visited that place. But what I know from Theo Von, I shouldn't have said that. No, from what I know from people who have lived there, which actually roommated, or I was roommates with the boyfriend of the girl, but she was from there, and she was white. It's just, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's different because it's not, right? But I don't know if you could say that him being where he's from makes him a racist in the same way as Mexican OT being where he's from makes him a racist. Are they? I don't know. I don't know them. I think it takes more than saying it to be one, specifically where they're from. Uh, I grew up in a lower income area, and I can tell you that like probably like 80% of the Hispanics I knew said it. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying, like, if they still say it today, I don't think it's because they're racist. Maybe they're racist back then, and that's why they said it. But at the end of the day, I think it's because of like colloquially where you're from. Maybe that's me making excuses. But what I do think about the video is that Dustin Poirier was fucking hammered, bro. Here's the thing. You can do a lot of things as an MMA fighter or as a combat sports fighter. The one thing you can't do is that, right? Try to fight a fucking civilian, because it just makes you look like a douche. Do I think people should like overreact to the cultural sentiments of it? Probably not. Here's the thing, not that they shouldn't, is that they should wait, right? Because we have zero context other than he was just drunk and making a fool of himself. But yeah, just wanting to fight the random dude that comes up to you. Dude, that seems like there's like a rage in him that's like much deeper than what was going on. If the N-word thing is more of a problem than trying to fight a police officer, we're seriously fucked in society. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing. That can't be said because, or no, it's not that it can't be said. That being said means that we're already fucked as a society. If that's your basis for what being fucked as society is, then we already are, because it is very much Nick Fuentes, for Christ's sakes, disavowed Chud the Builder. Like, the thing that people keep saying, it's like context, right? You wouldn't go up to like a man with his wife and like call his wife a hoe or something like that and not expect to get hit, right? Type of thing. That's the Chud the Builder argument that they're using against him, right? That's what I guess Nick Fuentes had said, or somebody. No, I think that is what he said. And so it's like this. That's already the baseline. Like, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how any of us feel. That's the baseline. They're going to come after you for that, right? It's just going to happen. And it's going to happen from, every single culture. It's going to happen from every single element, every single corner of the internet, right? But the idea that Mex is portraying is a valid one, in that the most serious thing that happened in that moment was that a trained fighter who did it for a profession seemed moments away from unleashing that aggression upon somebody who wasn't even just an innocent bystander, was literally somebody who walked into the situation not understanding what was going on and merely recognized him, right? Which Dustin seemed to take as a slight. I don't know if it was like, I don't know, because the way I took it from the guy, the way he sounded, he didn't sound scared. He sounded like he knew what time it was. And that's how I would react, right? Like, if I'm in that situation and I'm working at like a convenience store and Dustin rolls in at 1:01 a.m. and he's like trying to buy beer on a Saturday, I'm like, sorry, dude, I can't do it. Like, and he starts crashing out. At some point, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to be like, well, you're Dustin Poirier, aren't you? Like, to be like, I'm a fan of yours. I know what time it is. I'm not going to pretend like, why? Why would I ever pretend to be able to fight you? You are a trained fighter. You'll fucking destroy me. You could probably kill me if you wanted. And so what? I'm just going to fucking like stand on my bit. I'm going to take the fucking beer. I'm going to call the cops. Take the fucking beer. I don't want no smoke. And so to hear the desperation, or not desperation, I don't want to call it desperation, to hear the plead of this random man and the tone of his voice that raised the emphasis of him understanding the situation says to me that Dustin either took it as like a sly and subconsciously, like, I don't know, he's a fucking, like, he hates him. I don't know. He fucking feels inadequate, I guess. I don't know. What else reason could you find? I mean, you could just say, oh, he was drunk. So then you throw everything away. But that's not a fucking valid reason. How many times did we see situations with Mike or other fighters that were drunk that were able to be like, yo, dude, stop. I mean, I've seen so many videos on 6th Street of an MMA fighter, specifically a UFC fighter, specifically Diego, who was like, dude, you don't want to do this. Drunk off their mind, rationalizing with or trying to rationalize with these other drunk idiots. You're going to have the worst night of your life if you pick this fight. Dustin was on something else. So it was either inadequacy, which we can't know, or that felt like a challenge to him, because I can't rationalize a response from that. Like, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't sucking his dick, but he was certainly like trying to like to exit the narrative or the situation. I mean, like de-escalate. I mean, stop. From what you know from Texas, we say it often here as Texans. I'm sure they do too. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. I guess you said it faster and better. It's about intent with delivery. It is and it isn't, right? It is in the sense that we're talking about right now, right? But it also isn't in the sense that was it ever okay? Like, is it? Obviously, I'm not the arbitrator of whether black people should use that word or not. I will say that words have power, and calling someone a name, right? Like, I used to call my brother dumb all the time, like when we were kids, or stupid. And my mom would always, she would tell me, she would be like, you can't say that to him, because it's like you infect their brain. Like, you start to think like, wait, am I dumb? The person that loves me the most thinks I'm stupid. Like, what's going on? And so it's like, there exists a line that we never understand or can understand. What we can know is that, those words have power. So if they are a negative connotation, which it seems like they would be if you can't use the word, then how is it not a negative connotation I don't know. And again, these are just like questions I have that I've never had the answer to, and I don't think I ever will. Looked like early drunk BJ Penn there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, if this is where I love Dustin Poirier. I remember I saw this documentary on him when he was like fucking 20, 21. He was super young. He wasn't in the UFC yet. He wouldn't even be in the UFC for a long time. In fact, I think this documentary came out at the time where there wasn't even a featherweight division yet in UFC. So he was fighting some small town promotion in his area. And he was a very endearing personality on that documentary. I've always appreciated Dustin Poirier, and then he came into the UFC, and he did a lot of really big things. So I don't know. All I'm going to say is that if this is the road we're headed, that he's headed on, oh boy, BJ Penn's story is like, you can make a movie with that. He started saying that like people kidnapped his mom, and like it was like the Hawaiian government. I don't know, dude. I don't know. He'll be fighting the shadow people soon. That's fucked up. Who the hell is this Chud the Builder? Stop, dude. No, you're not going to do this no more, Max. Stop. You know who the fuck Chud the Builder is by now. You stop, dude. Stop. There's no way I would even believe you. You're trolling. You're trolling me. Not anymore. There's no way. No way. No shot. No shot, dude. No shot you don't know who the fuck Chud the Builder is yet. No shot. No shot. With how tapped in you are with the internet, no shot. Yeah, there's no way. No. The names that you know and are in your I don't want to say like you watch these people, but like are in your algorithm. No, there's no way. There's no way. You're lying or you're trolling. Connor back in the spotlight, and that clip of Connor saying he's banged Dustin's baby mama really got him triggered, man. Shit, it might have. I'll say this. Connor looked very sober. very, very sober. Athletes tend to go into depressions and lash out once they hit retirement. This could be the case, not justifying it. Very well said, Mex, and very endearing. You're right, and we should have empathy for that, right? I think a lot of people will not have empathy based on the word he used and other aspects of it, and that's not fair, right? Because like you wouldn't hold somebody with like a Down syndrome, like a mental I know mental retardation is not the way you say it anymore. How do you say it? Fuck. Like a cognitive disablement, right? Like you wouldn't hold them to the like you wouldn't hold them to those kinds of things, right? And PTSD or the effects that combat sports can have in the brain can absolutely cause moments that reflect that kind of disability. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Disability. Thank you. Yes. I genuinely don't know who Chud is. I hear the name, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay. That I could believe. I believe you'd seen it and then avoided it. But yeah, everybody has to know the story by now, I think. Behavior wise, we seem to have the old door back. Yeah, so listen, I don't want to criticize anybody really. Obviously Dustin had a really bad day. What it was more than that, I don't know, but yeah, dude, I'll say this. He's not fighting anymore, so it's like, what can you really do? You know what I mean? Like, the UFC is certainly not going to be the place that shuns Dustin Poirier from attending, or you know what I mean? Like, not at all. So I don't know. I can't really see what harm it would. I mean, it's not like they're beating down the door for endorsements anyway. So I don't know. But anyway, guys, it's been a great one. We will be live this weekend. Machine Gun Matt. Hopefully, Super Mex can stop back. By the way. Oh, old Connor. I was like, what the hell did that mean? Yeah. Behavior wise, we seem to have the old Connor back. Yeah. I think you're right. But anyway, we'll be live this weekend for Night of Champions. We'll be live this weekend for Xander Zayas and Boots Ennis fight that I cannot wait to watch. And then we'll be live as well for Forbidden Door the next day. We'll try to do Great American Bash, but I don't know if I'll get back from the course in time. But either way, go to Infight FX on all platforms, YouTube, Twitch, X, IG, and hit the follow, hit the like. Until next time, I appreciate all of y'all. Peace.